Number one. Oh, thank you, Tina. Thank you. Um, this is one part of this business that I wasn't expecting when I first became a network marketer over 16 years ago, was that I was going to have to learn how to deal with rejection and people saying no and people not understanding or seeing what I could see. And so, what I want to talk to you today about is how to manage rejection, because especially with a newer company, only 2.5, 3 years old, we're going to experience rejection. So, what I hope you can leave today with is a way of managing that rejection. Because for me, I used to really take rejection personally. And I found it really difficult to manage my emotions around rejection. But what I have learned over 16 years, so if you're new to this industry or you're new to sales or you're new to even selling yourself and talking about the things that you do and you offer, this is what I had to learn in order to stay grounded and not take things personally. So, staying regulated in the face of rejection was a huge learning curve for me. And maybe that's where you are right now. And you're just learning how you respond to when people aren't interested right now, or they're not ready, or they're saying no, or they share something else that they found and you take it personally. So, staying open when others are closed is very, very important, especially now as we bring a new product and company to market. If I really had to move from people pleasing to peace, and meaning that I had to stay grounded in my own energy and not allow other people's objections to infiltrate me and where I was at, to realize that it wasn't just about me, it was actually about them. And rejection doesn't always dysregulate me anymore, but sometimes it does. There are still those people that I talk to that say no to me, and I do take it personally. But what I realize is that I can move through that rejection more quickly now. So I may feel the rejection, but it comes and then it passes, and I'm able to move on. And that's the biggest piece of this, because people are going to say no. So, what I've also to learn is that all truth passes through three stages. So, whenever there is something new or innovative that's brand new, that's being brought to market, or a new idea, a new product, the first thing it is received with is ridicule, because people haven't heard of it before. It's news. They don't know what you may know. People don't know what we know about Lumi Vitae yet, because this is our job. It's our job to bring this to market. So these are the three things that we need to expect right now in order to take this to the next level. We need to expect ridicule, and then we need to expect people will oppose this. They're going to have rejections. They're going to have questions. Our job is to educate and inform and support until Lumi Vitae becomes mainstream, and we are the ones bringing it to mainstream. So if we can have these three expectations, ridicule, opposition, and then acceptance, we will be able to take Lumi Vitae to the world. Okay. And one thing that I'm really passionate about joining Lumi Vitae, this being my third network marketing company, is that we are doing things differently here. Right from Taryn Lee down, there is this regulated culture because our products help us to regulate. So I really want to start duplicating, starting with all of you, how do we have a regulated culture? Well, what that means is how we move from ridiculed to opposed to mainstream and allow that to be accepted. We have to embody coherence. We have to be in balance. We have to be in transparency, in authenticity. We need to speak from truth and our groundedness, and know that we are here to educate, inform, and support. We're not here to convince. We're not here defending anything. We're here to offer consent-based invitations for people to come and take a look at what we have here. And then the rest is up to them. The only job we have is to introduce people to Lumi Vitae, the products, the company, the culture, and they decide whether it's for them or not. And then we don't take it personally. We've done our job if we share the information in a regulated, calm, open, accepting way. Is this making sense? Drop a 2 in the chat if you're following me here. Amazing. So the first step is to get ourselves into coherence. And how do we do that? We need to have our belief in check. Because when our belief is in check, that's what builds confidence. When we're confident, we speak differently. And we have to understand that it's not always what we say to somebody, but it's how we say it. So if I'm feeling confident in what I'm speaking about, that I truly believe in what I am saying, what I'm offering, my energy, my coherence will come across to that other person very differently. If there's any lack of belief in me, they're going to sense that. It'll be out of coherence, out of balance, out of sync, different frequencies. So we need to check with ourselves first. I want you to first just write down these 5 areas of belief: product, company, industry, system, and self. So if you can quickly write those down, your belief in these 5 key areas is where we need to start so that you can speak with confidence. I want you to write from 0 to 10, 0 being no confidence, 10 being 10 out of 10, 10 feet tall and bulletproof. I totally know where I'm at with Lumi Vitae. Where are you with the product? Do you believe that this product actually works? And as you write that down, I'm actually going to finish drinking my tablet. Where are you with the belief in Lumi Vitae? Do you feel that this is a legitimate and sustainable opportunity and company? And what about the industry of network marketing? Do you believe that this channel even works? Maybe if you're new to this, your belief in this area might be a little bit lower. That's okay. What about the systems that we're offering you? If you were to follow the process that we're sharing with you, do you believe that it will even work? And then lastly, belief in yourself. Do you believe that you can do this? So out of these 5 key areas, you're going to notice some of them are closer to the 10 out of 10, fully confident. Some of them will be closer to 0, and that's okay. Your homework, the areas that are closer to 0, go and learn and educate yourself more to build that belief in that key area so that it gets closer to a 10. And know that you're never going to be 10 out of 10 in all of these 5 areas all the time. It's going to fluctuate. You're going to get a no. Someone's going to have an objection, and it might knock your belief back down to 0. And this is when you need to go back and do your own homework. Maybe call your business partner, call someone you're working with in this business who is supporting you, that can build your belief back up. Go and watch a video. Go and look at some of the information about molecular hydrogen. Watch a video with Taryn Lee. Get your belief back as close to 10 as you can so that you can speak with confidence. Is this making sense? Put a 3 in the chat. Yay, awesome. Okay, so when we get those objections, so we've built our own belief up, we're continually working on ourselves, we're continually educating, we're showing up on calls like this. These calls are going to build our belief. We're staying connected in community. We're learning all the time. Then we're going to start talking to people, and people are going to say yes, or they're going to say no. There's only 2 options. And when we get those objections of no, this is how you're going to learn to handle those objections. There's 3 steps in handling objections. First, we're going to validate whatever it is that they say or object to. Second, we're going to offer, with permission, an opportunity to educate them. And lastly, we're going to give them permission to make a decision. 3 steps, that's it. So let's go through those 3 steps. The first step is validating. And I learned from one of my mentors a long time ago, feel, felt, found. And when I can remember this phrase, it helps me respond in a very authentic, connected way. I can just remember, okay, they're objecting to what I'm saying. I can first say, I get it. I know how you feel because I felt the same way, right? But what I found was And then I fill in the blank that helped me build my belief. So we validated their objection, knowing that we may even have had the same objection when we first got started, but what we found was and how we found it. Then the next thing we do is offer to educate them by asking a question. So the conversation may sound something like this. Another phrase I love: if I, would you? So if I was to send you a PDF explaining the health benefits of molecular hydrogen, would you find that helpful? So if somebody's not sure about hydrogen and what it does in the body, that is a very valid objection right now, because we're helping to bring this science to market. We're claiming the molecular hydrogen market with our products. Not a lot of people know about molecular hydrogen yet. It is our responsibility to educate them. So I can say, if I was to send you a video that's 2 minutes long explaining the benefits of molecular hydrogen, would you watch it? Would that be helpful? Or what if I said, if I was to send you a 2-minute video explaining the features of the Luma bottle and why it's unique to other bottles currently on the market, would you watch it? So I've gained permission. I'm in dialogue with them. I'm being completely authentic, validating their objection, offering an opportunity to educate. The other piece that I love is we have such an incredible community here that if your belief is closer to zero in most of those 5 key areas, I'm going to invite you to borrow the belief of those of us who have a very strong belief. And this is where using three-way calls or group chats are very, very important tool. So what you can say to someone, if you're not even really sure what tool to send to them, or you're not sure how to handle their objection, you can say something like this. If I was to put you in a group chat with my friend Carol, and then you're going to edify why you're introducing them to Carol. Carol's been in this industry for 15 years. She really understands how this works. I'm new. I'm just learning. Would it be helpful to you to hear her story? So you can invite them into a group chat. If they agree to be in that chat, you open a group chat with Carol, you introduce them to Carol, edifying how amazing she is, and invite Carol to share her story that is around the objection that person has. My last example, if I was to send you an invitation to join a 30-minute webinar to learn more about what we're really doing here, would you come? And you let the webinar do all the talking. And you know that our webinars, when we have them, and we do have a few scheduled this week, that's where a lot of their questions and objections will get met and questions will get answered. So you can let these tools do the talking for you. You're just leading them to the information that they need to make an educated decision. Okay, so that's step 2. Our job is to educate, and using the frame or the phrase, if I, would you? I love creating dialogues. So keep the conversations going. Know that a no can mean a lot of different things. It can mean not right now. It could mean I don't know enough. It could be not right now. So what I love to do is just keep chatting to people, using phrases like this. What would feel important for you to understand before you even consider something like this? So I'm asking a question to find out what information they actually need to make an informed decision. And I can get clear on their objection by asking more questions. If I really understand what they're not sure about, I can offer more information and an opportunity to learn. Would it be helpful to learn more about fill in the blank? So you can decide if this feels aligned for you or not. And I put that in bold because we need to give people permission to choose this not for them. This isn't going to be for everyone. So we have to have that posture to know that we're just offering information. It's okay for them to say no, but we're giving them the information to make an educated decision. And that leads to the last step, offering permission. So giving them permission to say no, like saying something like, I'd rather you say no than feel pressured to say yes. When people feel safe enough to say no, they relax enough to consider saying yes. We're giving them permission. So ask, and if at the very end of all of this, their answer is still no, or you're feeling a lot of pushback, remember you're not in the convincing business. You're not here to pressure people into this. There are a lot of people to talk to about Lumi Vitae. We're just looking for the people who are looking for us. And so if this isn't for the person you're speaking to, know that you can close the conversation in a way by asking them if they know of anyone who this might be for. Ask for a referral. Do you know of anyone who this might be a good fit for? Would you be okay with connecting me with them? Again, asking for permission. And then, of course, if you're new and just getting started with Lumi Vitae or new in this channel, another thing that I love offering to people is admitting that and being completely authentic. Look, I'm new to this. This is the first time I've ever done this, or I'm new to this company. I'm still learning. Would it be okay with you if I checked in 3 months and just let you know how it's going? And then that way you have permission. In 3 months, you're putting that in your calendar to follow up with Nancy to let her know how it's going. And in that message, you can simply say, hey, Nancy, it's been 3 months since I joined Lumi Vitae. I just wanted to follow up with you and let you know how it's going. When do you have 5 minutes to chat? And that's where we can continue the conversation. So I'm going to stop my share and see if I can get into the chat now. Great. How was that for everyone? Does that helpful? Walk through some steps, giving you some verbiage of what you can say. If you want, I can share these slides so you have the actual statements. If you didn't take screenshots, I'm happy to share this with you. Let me just check the chat if there's anything really important. I hope that you will move through this with coherence. So your first step, just to recap, go through your 5 levels of belief, find the lowest area of belief, and do some homework. And if you need some advice about what that would be, reach out to us. Hey, I'm really feeling low in my belief in network marketing. What would be a great tool? We can recommend books. We can recommend videos, YouTube, all kinds of things. If you're low in your belief in the products, let's direct you to some of the tools that we have that you can watch. Get on YouTube, start educating yourself. One of the first things I ever did when I joined Lumi Vitae was went to YouTube and researched molecular hydrogen health benefits. And then all kinds of stuff came up that was outside of Lumi Vitae. And I was like, I have to do this. This is incredible. So let us know where we can support you in building your beliefs so you can talk with confidence. And then use the tools, get permission from people, help them educate, be compassionate with them, and have that expectation that not everybody's going to say yes, but we're looking for the people who are ready to. Okay? All right. Thank you for jumping on, and thank you for your acceptance. A little bit of messy in the beginning there. Look at that, 10:33. All right, everyone. Have the most beautiful
questions in the chat. If you can, I think Allison had a question, and I also had a question, Jen.
Sure. What's your question?
I just read back.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm driving, so I'll reread it. So for me, it was like, I'm getting no's. Some people are just like slow to respond. So managing like the slow responses, having to follow up a few times versus like also the no's, and then still like running for the ranks, creating that urgency, like ultimately having this as an income producing like activity that you're doing, and kind of balancing that. So as you're kind of talking about the tools, which were really helpful today, like for me, it's like, how do I balance both? Because like I do want to rank, I do want to make money, but I know that like there are people that are going to say no. There are people who are going to require like 3, 4, a couple of months follow up. So like, how do you balance that and keep going to get to the point where like there is that momentum and there is, ultimately that income coming in?
Yeah, great question. And this happens all the time, right? We just don't know where people are at. So this is where I give people the out and give them permission to tell me no. And once they have said no to me and I've given them permission, then I know that I can either keep them up on my follow-up list, and I'll ask that question again. Would it be okay if I followed up with you in 3 months and let you know how it's going? So then you know you're not pouring energy into the wrong person. So get permission, give them an out. And I sometimes may say something like, just let me know if this isn't for you, because that's okay. Because I'm looking for the people who really want to run with this and see what this opportunity is. And if that's not you, that's okay. Does that help?
Yeah, it does. I think it's like qualifying them
Yes.
early enough and not pouring energy into like follow up and just kind of like moving on. And knowing if there is a
Yes.
follow up in a few months, like having that on your list, but like kind of keep going. Because I think Allison had something similar to like people ghosting you or not getting back. It's like you
Yes.
do all these reach outs, right? You'll do like 20 reach outs in a day, in a few days, and then all of a sudden you have like 50 follow ups, and then it's like, the following week it's another 20 follow ups, and it gets like a little overwhelming. Like Allison and I are accountability partners, so I know I can speak to her. Like it's like it gets a little overwhelming at the end of the month when you're like, hey, well, I'm still trying to hit the rank, and I'm still trying to make this like, something that I can earn on, and it's just kind of managing that. So I think one of the things you touched on is just kind of having that qualifying conversation earlier on and moving on to the ones that are potential yeses. So thank you.
Yes, that's it. Exactly right. It's getting good at qualifying people and having the courage to ask them or give them permission to tell you that it's not for them. And like I said, in that space of permission, they actually relax and feel safer to actually look into this more deeply. In my experience with giving people permission to say no, is then, or if they're ghosting me, to speak to the ghosting, if it's ghosted, and then I write back, hey, have you seen my messages above? I just wanted to check in. Is this for you or not? Because if it isn't, that's totally okay. And then I'll get a message back, oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes. I've been meaning to get back to you. I've just been really busy. And it keeps the conversation going. So I think people don't want to be pressured. I don't think. I know they do not want to be pressured into something. And so when we can take away the pressure, give them permission to have a decision, to have a conversation, to continue a dialogue, that's when it moves closer to a yes. So the less that we can pressure them into this, the better the conversation will go. And if somebody's a hard no, respect that and maybe say, great, I understand that this isn't for everyone, but do you know anybody that this might be for? And if they still ghost you, move on. Don't waste your energy talking to the people who this isn't for. We're really, really sifting and sorting and looking for the people who are looking for us. We want to have those exciting conversations. And if you're really getting into the self-doubt because your follow-up list is longer than your enrollments, that is normal. It's totally normal to have more follow-ups, more conversations happening over here. People might not say yes for 6 months, 1 year, because guess what? They're waiting for this to become mainstream. They're not going to see what you see just yet. That's where the majority of people are going to be. So we're looking for the people who are ready to run with something with a little bit of uncertainty. That's a small percentage of people. That's you guys. That's why you're here. You see this and we're running. Barb, what's your question?
Not so much a question, Jen. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Um, I don't know whether it's the product is yet because I've only had the product since Saturday, but I'm building this totally different than what I built in the past. And I appreciate some of these nuggets that you put here that I've grabbed screenshots on.
Great.
But for me, what I'm looking at, this is the golden goose. And and I'm not, well, here's an example. The last few days, I've been really helping my team be able to utilize their free coupons. If they didn't need them, I wanted to be able to help them sell them to someone else so they'd have at least commission of 201 to be earning off of. And so that's like really precious because there's only so many of those. And I had one gal that, really wanted it. And I said, okay, we're going to set up your account with the register link. And she said, oh, no, no, I don't want to be a member. Um, if I like it, I'll I'll share. And I thought to myself, sorry, no, this is valuable. I don't have time building for tire kickers. I have time for people that really see the value, and I don't need battery drainers. I don't need that. I need people that will say, yes, this resonates with me. This is what I want to do. I studied hydrogen. I've studied hydrogen, whatever. And so I'm finding, and like I say, Gina, I don't know if this is because of the water or what, but I'm stronger. I'm stronger in, hey, no, this is valuable. If you don't want it, well, that's fine. You can pay $4.98. You're not getting $2.49. No, you're not. You can pay the full price or pay $9.88 when we get the Luma. But no, this is too valuable. So it's really interesting seeing it as the golden goose.
I
That this
love
is
this.
valuable. It's not to throw away on just anybody. It's only on the special people who see it. So just wanted to add that. Thanks.
Thank you for adding that, Barb. And you've been doing so incredible, doing so much so fast. So it's really nice to meet you. And I totally agree. That goes right back to Barb's got posture, right? Barb's got the confidence to be able to have those conversations. So what we want to support you is to get to that place too. Really believe in what we have here. Barb's belief is 10 out of 10. You can hear it in her conviction. And that's where we need all of us to be, because this is the golden goose. And when you see it, you see it. You can't unsee it. This is such an incredible opportunity. It's the perfect time with the right product, the right company, the right leadership. We are going a long, long way. And yes, those people who aren't ready to see that yet, it's okay. We can put them over here in our follow-up list, and we're going to look for the people we're going to run with. Because as you're seeing in our team, the people who get this are running really fast, and it's happening very, very quickly. So trust that. Get in your own confidence, build your own belief. Remember, it's not really what you say, it's how you say it, and keep sifting and sorting and looking for the people who are looking for us and who are really attracting are the Barbs, the Tinas who have been in this channel who are looking for an opportunity. So who do you know who would see this as an opportunity? Who do you know who's going to look at the science behind molecular hydrogen and look at the Luma bottle and realize how unique it is, that there's nothing else like it on the market? We need to educate and inform and then support whatever their decision is from a place of coherence, right? Barb's energy is grounded. She's calm, but she's convicted, right? She's certain. Certainty is sexy. So let's find our own certainty. Let's have those conversations and know that this is a numbers game. The more conversations you have, the more no's that you collect, the closer you will be to a yes. So don't get discouraged by your follow-up lists. Know that that's going to evolve and change. You're going to add people, take people out. That's what we're in the business of. Conversations, educate, inform, and support. Allison? Oh, unmute yourself.
Sorry, I don't think my hand is raised there, but it doesn't show up with my cabin background. I figured out I
saw
need
you.
to change the color.
I saw you.
Okay, so you just answered, I missed the beginning, so I'll go back and look at your kind of scripts I think you gave and some ideas at the start. But so you answered one of my questions. It's just a numbers game. Because I've never done network marketing. So the very first month hit courts, but it was like the people I know, it wasn't really team building. It wasn't getting people on this like LVIQ, like that type of thing. It was like sell the device, and I'm like having some conversations now with people, and I get the slow follow-up, so that's okay, numbers game. Like I just need to send it out to more people. But then it's also how do you kind of pick the right people? So if you've never been in the network marketing channel, like you guys are crushing it. You guys are hitting, and I'm sure that's a numbers thing, but it's also I don't know if because I'm very convicted in the product. I'm convicted in the energy of the community, all the things. but I'm not quite sure how to find those right people because I've never been in a network marketing space. So I was always in corporate, I was in male dominated industries, so that's I think the biggest piece where I feel like I'm missing the mark on the people I'm maybe reaching out to and not hitting enough people as well, I think. But
What comes up for me to answer that, and if anybody else has any advice for Allison, you'll know when you find the right people. You will just know. It will be easy. It will be the right conversations that'll just flow. They'll be excited. They'll see it. They'll catch the vision. And
okay.
that one person that catches the vision will excite you as well. And that's going to increase the frequency, and more of those conversations will start happening. They see it because they're looking, says Bo. Yeah. So we're looking for those people who, when they see this, they're like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for this. Or,
Okay.
wow, I tried another tablet. What's different from yours? So they're already interested in molecular hydrogen. They're the network marketer who is maybe not happy with their current company, that they've had success somewhere else, or they've tried other things, but are looking for a community like ours. So I think what's really great is to start having conversations with people and being curious by asking questions. Hey, have you heard of molecular hydrogen? I've just started on this new tablet. I'm loving what it's doing for me. I mean, I'm constantly asking people if they've heard of Lumi Vitae. Most people have not. Yay. I'm asking them about the product, and I'm curious if they've ever done network marketing before. So if I know those three things, then I have an opportunity to introduce this to them. And I think, Allison, when you find the right people to link arms with, you will know. It's going to be so easy. You're not going to feel like you're forcing the conversation. You're not dragging them along. You're not feeling like you have to convince them about something. They're going to be just as curious as you were when you first saw this.
Okay. And then are you typically getting them on a tablet and a bottle, or like a combination kind of based on, is that what you're aiming for?
Depends on the person, right? I think some people who see the value of the bottle, especially right now with the Luma bottle at the pre-sale price, that's invaluable. I'm seeing lots of people wanting to grab the pre-sale Luma. And then tablets, I think, is a great entry point for someone to just get started and to try a macro dose of molecular hydrogen. They'll feel it more quickly, they'll experience it. So I would say it's a combination of both. And remember, the bottle's a one-time purchase. So sometimes starting them with the tablets and introducing them to the product first, with the macro dosing, and then introducing them to the community, introducing them to the bigger vision. It can be a gradual introduction to what we're really about here.
Yeah. Okay. And is the pre-sale still on? And do we not have the other device? So do we have a device that you can sell someone right now, or?
More information coming
Okay.
hopefully later today
Okay.
on.
That was the call that was supposed to be this morning, I think.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So more coming, more
Okay.
info coming. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks.
Okay. Anything else I can answer, or anybody have any other comments or anything they want to add? All right. Thank you so much for your time this morning. We're going to have an incredible week. Yes, stay tuned for the call that was rescheduled from this morning. I know Jen and Taryn are traveling in Mexico right now, launching our Mexico market. So we'll wait to hear from them and then keep you guys all posted on what's coming. We're going to have a great announcement before the end of this week. So stay tuned, stay in our chats, and great to see all your faces. Have a great, wonderful